Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Drew Deeks channel today. The Montreal Canadiens beat the New York Islanders 4-3 on Patrick Waugh night at the Bell Center in Montreal. It was a heck of a night. It was a heck of a night with Patrick Waugh in the building for the first time in a long time. The media eventually got to get their hands on Patrick and the opening ceremony, if you will, which actually was the national anthem for Canada. That's when they decided to pay tribute to Patrick Waugh, and it was pretty unique to say the least. No one ever does it the way they do at the Bell Center, so hats off to them for doing it the way they did. And Patrick even seemed to get a little bit choked up, I thought I noticed there, and he gave the crowd a couple waves. The crowd gave him a great ovation, and then the puck dropped to play a hockey game. So this game started off, I think, a lot better than at least I expected, and a lot of Montreal Canadiens fans would have expected coming into this game on a 3-game losing skid, losing a bit of their identity, as Marty St. Louis put it, losing some of their confidence. And then right away on the power play, pretty quickly, Nick Suzuki gets his 13th goal of the season, assisted by Uri Slafkovsky and Sean Monahan. I'll talk about Monty in this in this game quite a bit, but and just to get it out of the way, yes, I will be talking about number 11 very, very shortly. We have an update on that situation as well. So I'm going to get to it. Believe me, I'm going to get to it, but I don't want that to be, just kind of squashing this entire, big victory that the Canadiens just had. So back to the power play. So this actually looked like a really dangerous power play even before the goal. And the Canadiens are actually able to move the puck around pretty good. Mike Matheson, yes, did decide to pass the puck to Uri Slafkovsky, which was great because that wasn't always the case. He wasn't always trying to find Slav on the half wall there, but this was a really nice play. It was just cool to see a bit of a tic-tac-toe play where you saw Sean Monahan dish it over to Slafkovsky, and then he throws it right to the goal mouth, and Nick Suzuki just perfectly tips it in, and the Habs have a 1-0 lead. And then Pierre Engvall has a bad game, to say the least, in this one. He had two major giveaways. And the first giveaway was to Nick Suzuki and Cole Caufield, who just capitalized big time on his backhand pass, which actually wasn't entirely his fault, but at the same time, the decision to go back pedal into the Islanders' own zone, then do a backward saucer pass into the Islanders' zone, and then Nick Suzuki coughs up the puck. He gets it over to Caufield, and he gets some dirty dangles going, and just flat out buries it. It was a beautiful goal for Caufield, and now Cole has his 17th of the season. He's well on pace for 30 this season, which wasn't the case not too long ago. He's got himself also an 8-point goal streak going, and he beats Semyon Varlamov. And then not that long after, Sean Monahan, again on the power play, as it's registered here anyway. The Canadiens actually do end up converting twice out of 5 power plays, which, again, encouraging signs from the power play itself. But Sean Monahan has been a major, major part of that. And he's got a lot of points to show for it in the last several games, even the losses. So kudos to Sean Monahan, whose trade value is just going up and up and up by every single game. Him getting the game winner doesn't hurt either. So breaking down the goals again here for you, and Sean Monahan, what more can you say too? And also this play was all created by Mike Matheson, right? So Sam Montembeault, we'll talk about Sammy also. He gets credit for an assist on the Sean Monahan goal, his second assist of the season from Sam Montembeault. I mean, Mike Matheson did all the work. He got the puck right from Sam at the Canadiens' own goal and just wheeled it all the way down. Didn't do the drop pass, and basically just wheeled his way in. Matheson backhands it right to the front of the net, and Monahan buries it short side. So that was beautiful. The Canadiens go up 3-0 after the first period. Things are looking pretty good. A really strong, encouraging start from these Canadiens, who I've said are probably going to be due for another top 10 pick should they, come back down to reality here, come back down to earth a little bit. But I want to throw this in there too. Alex Newhook. While I'm thinking of it fresh, just before I hit record on this video, Alex Newhook was seen skating this morning, and if you look here, he looks pretty good. He actually looks like he could be coming back sooner than later. I mean, the timetable was about 10 to 12 weeks on his injury, and that would set him up for about a mid-February return. At the time of the recording of this video, it's January 26th, so he's probably maybe still at least a couple weeks away, but we'll see. I mean, he looks pretty good, according to this little clip from the Canadiens here. So we get to the second period, and Bo Horvat buries a goal on a power play where Arbor Xhekaj goes off, and then also there was a delay of the game penalty also in the second period. So Jaden Struble for slashing Jake Evans for holding the stick, actually. So it wasn't even Arbor Jackey's penalty yet. Arbor Jackey got a high stick in the first period, so I apologize. But yeah, Jake Evans gets called for holding the stick, and he's going in on a scoring chance while he does it. So it's kind of a weird play. And then Jaden Struble had the slashing call. So the Islanders had a 5-on-3. Bo Horvat buries it. Not much Sam Montembeault can do on that play. And you can't really blame him, frankly. So then we get to the end of the second period and that's where Jackeye gets called for his second penalty of the game, which was interference. And that's where some fans are kind of like, oh, here we go again with Jackeye, the lack of discipline. But I thought he looked okay to start this game. He made some good clean passes, had some good jump, had some good hits. I thought Josh Anderson was flying in this game. Despite the complaints about him being on the first line, I thought he looked pretty good on the first line. I like the energy that he's bringing. I like the way that he's playing. And we'll get to him in a second on the game-winning goal. But we go to the third period, and this is where we got to jump into it with Brendan Gallagher. And the fact is, it was a really bad hit from Brendan Gallagher. At the time of the recording of this video, he will have an over-the-phone hearing from the NHL Player Safety Department, and that means that his suspension, it's going to happen, will be no more than 5 games. And that was, of course, for the elbow on the Islanders' Pelech, who actually had a concussion last year from a hit, and now that only rattles his brain even more. So a very uncharacteristic play from Brendan Gallagher, as Eric Engels put it on his post-game video with Kyle Bukowskis here on sportsnet.ca. It wasn't uncharacteristic. It really didn't make a lot of sense. It was completely in an open ice hit, and it wasn't even a hit. It was an elbow, and you watched it more and more and more, and it's really disappointing. It's really disappointing to see this from Brendan Gallagher. And I didn't really say this publicly on my channel here. I haven't said it, but the thought has come through my brain a couple of times the last couple of years in this rebuild as Brendan Gallagher signed his big 6-year extension with Marc Bergevin. And that was that, I'm getting tired of the whole thing that Gallagher does. I know he plays in the danger zone in front of the net and takes punishment, takes abuse, but just the whole agitator thing was getting old for me with Brendan Gallagher. And I didn't really feel like it was helping the Canadiens much anymore, the way he was playing and trying to get under players' skin. And the refs already don't like him and, have issue with him. And how are they going to treat him now after this hit? I mean, Lord knows. But it's a really disappointing play from Brendan Gallagher. It's a dirty elbow. It's not even a hit. I'd like to think I was trying to watch to see if it was like a quick, Mike Johnson called it a chicken wing elbow, which basically means it was an elbow. It wasn't an attempt to use your shoulder to make contact. There just was no clear attempt for that seen in this hit from Brendan Gallagher. It's an elbow to the head. It's an elbow to the jaw. And you know what? It's deserved that he gets his suspension, and nobody should feel worse about it than Brendan Gallagher, the guy who we've called the heart and soul of the Montreal Canadiens for so long. To make a play like this is extremely, extremely disappointing. It just sucks the wind out of your sails. On Patrick Waugh night, the Canadiens are up 3-0, and the only reason this game even got close was because of this dirty hit by Brendan Gallagher. He gets a 5-minute major and a 10-game misconduct, and now he's going to get suspension, likely 2 to 4 games at least, maximum of 5 games. So, and I will do possibly an update video, maybe even just a short video on this channel once that announcement is made official as to what the length of the suspension will be. But from Brendan Gallagher's side of things, I hope to hear some real remorse from him, because this is unacceptable. It's uncharacteristic. It's unnecessary. Everything about it was just nonsensical. Nothing about this hit made sense at all. I looked at the game and tried to see if there was anything going on between Pelech and Gallagher throughout the game, or there really wasn't much going on between anybody with Brendan Gallagher. Like, he was playing okay. It was 8 minutes or so to go in the third period, and then he just, in the trolley tracks, lays this brutal hit and this elbow, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's just mind-boggling. So it really kills the buzz on Patrick Waugh night for me. I keep calling it that, but it was a special night at the Bell Center. And for a guy like Brendan Gallagher who says, when he was in a scoring slump earlier this season, to talk about how he's so grateful for having been able to be a Montreal Canadien for this long and hopefully the rest of his career, and to see him do this just doesn't make any sense. So I really want to hear from Brendan Gallagher before I have any more thoughts on it, I guess. But I can't lie that the thought did cross my mind. Is this the beginning of the end for Brendan Gallagher in Montreal? Can't judge him on one bad play, one bad decision after 11 seasons with the Canadiens. But like I said, based on the way he plays and what he does, is it going to be sustainable to the end of his contract? It might have to be, unless they decide to buy him out. But I don't see that happening right now. I just hope that this situation gets resolved the right way. And I don't know if that means I don't want Brendan Gallagher to get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt. No one wants to see Pelech get hurt either. That's the whole thing. Nobody wants to see players get injured. So we'll see what Brendan Gallagher and the Canadiens have to say about it. Obviously, Marty St. Louis was disappointed as well and said he didn't talk to Brendan. He's going to look at the video today and then talk to him afterwards. But I'm looking forward to hearing what Brendan Gallagher has to say on it. Because if anyone's been good to the media and given the media full, complete, non-boring answers in their time in Montreal, Brendan Gallagher's probably been the best at that, giving us great sound bites, giving us his actual thoughts on plays that go against him and the Canadiens. I want to see what he has to say now. I really do. So, with that in mind, Matthew Barzal and Kyle Palmieri on that power play from Brendan Gallagher's hit, they tied the game 3-3. And then, fortunately, another Pierre Engvall turnover results in Cole Caufield getting the puck awkwardly in a way, cross ice still, gets it to Josh Anderson, and then he gets it to Sean Monahan, and he just whips a wicked snapshot top corner on Varlamov, and the Canadiens are able to sneak out with a victory in regulation of all things after you expected this game was going to go overtime. And Brendan Gallagher nearly cost the Canadiens this game. And that's why he's going to feel as bad as he does, mainly because of the injury. But he hurt himself, his teammates, and the fans. He hurt everybody. So nobody feels the weight on their shoulders more than him today. I guarantee that. So looking forward to hearing from him. And I want to hear from you guys. We're pushing up to 5,000 subscribers on this channel. So just want to thank you guys again for all the support. Hit like if you enjoyed the video today. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. There will be more shows coming your way soon. And if you want to become a member of the Deke Squad, you can do that and join this channel for exclusive members only content, which I'm releasing a video to you guys, the members, the Deke Squad members, on Saturday, just for you guys. So stay tuned for that. The Canadiens have one more game against Pittsburgh on Saturday before they head into the All-Star break. So yeah, a special night that was dampened a bit by the Gallagher hit. Let's see how they respond. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what else to say to it, to be honest with you. But anyway, we'll see you soon, guys. Thanks so much for everything. Talk soon.